Statesville town, got your truck bed empty, but fill it up now. Rock, smokes, and soul for your green spot. Call them up, they deliver on the dot. From Mooresville to Taylorsville, they got your back. Turn yards into wonderlands, that's the fact. With expert hands and friendly smiles, your landscape supply goes miles and miles.
Good morning, LKN. 8:48. Happy Friday to you. Happy Halloween to you if you're out and about. You're going to get to observe all the wonderful decorations and setups, and you're probably going to see a bunch of nice lawns and gardens out there. And they probably went by Drum Landscape Supply, located in Statesville. DrumLandscapeSupply.com, your local one-stop landscape shop. Jason Drum and his team been doing this for over 14 years. They're experts at it. They don't mind sharing, too, with you the knowledge that they've got. Jason, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody.
It's like every time we talk, the sky is as blue as it possibly can be. It's very nice.
You order the most perfect weather for every Tuesday and Friday. I don't know how you do it, Jason.
Well, it's just my little secret. But, that's what,
All right, I was asking before you came on. You got any spooky plants for Halloween? What's your spookiest? You got any spider plants?
Well,
you had the pumpkin tree a couple weeks
this
ago.
one behind me kind of looks a little ominous with its branches kind of hanging out. The dark burgundy one right there.
Yeah.
It looks a little
oh my,
a little spooky maybe right there. But and then these kind of interesting plants, but. We just got in a big shipment of pansies, and I think we got some orange and purple ones in. But we have a few thousand in, so it might be hard for me to find them right away.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Those look nice. So the colors look great on those.
They're beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, that's our big seller for this time of year, our pansies. And they do really well if you plant them in October or even early November. They will last all through the winter, and then they'll be really beautiful in the spring, too. So it's one of the best values for flowering plants that you can put in the landscape.
I think I see a wheel loader behind you there, Jason. Do you have to have a wheel loader to come to Drum Landscape Supply to pick up your materials as well?
Well, we welcome all wheel loaders, but that's what we have them here for is to help you out. So, I do have to say I love driving all the machinery and dump trucks and things, even without being at work. But yeah, we have all the mostly modern equipment, I should say, things that will get the job done. Some are older pieces too, but well maintained and ready to load you up here.
And so this wonderful selections and quality. So the shipments you've been getting, are you expecting more shipments even later on through this year? Or are we coming up on that time of the year where if you're going to decide to plant some shrubs, some trees, it's time to really start making those decisions?
Yeah, I mean, we're not down to crunch time quite yet, but we've gotten most of our selection in for the year. We're still buying things on demand, but we have just a humongous selection of different things out here right now. And one of my personal favorites, so we're in the evergreen section. These are great things for keeping your neighbors a little farther away than seeing them out of your back door. But then also the Japanese maples that are just over my shoulder here. The sun glare may keep them out of the shots really well, but but this is just one of my favorite plants, and they've got their fall color going on right now, and we've got a huge selection of those. And it's not just one or two varieties. I think we have about 15 or 18 varieties of Japanese maples.
They're glowing very nicely with the sunshine. I mean, that's very, very, very nice look. Is there a way, like the healthiness of a plant as we get into winter, right? Because a lot of them lose their leaves, right? They're gonna lose with their coverings and that kind of thing. Is there a way to tell and keep track just to make sure that the plant itself is still healthy through the winter season?
Yeah, so they will naturally drop their leaves, and they're going to put that energy from producing leaves into their roots. But some of the ways you can tell if you really were wondering about it, and I don't recommend to do this unless you really need to. It really doesn't hurt the plant, but you don't want to do it constantly. So this tree form hydrangea I've got right here. It is getting ready to lose its leaves. You can see it's kind of rough looking. I mean, that's just the way it is for fall. It's not the best looking foliage this time of year. But what you can do is actually take the stem, and it's real easy to do with the thumbnail or whatnot. And you can actually do a little scratch test. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's green where I just scratched the stem there with my fingernail.
Yep.
And as long as you see green underneath that light layer of bark, then you know that that branch is alive. You can check a few others, but that'll tell you that the plant is still healthy and alive. And if you do find some dead wood in here, and you might, I mean, it's just the way it is throughout the year, like this little branch here, you can certainly trim out any dead. That will help the plant health. But just trust the process, and know that if you follow our planting guide, and you can always ask us questions, that your plants should do well, because we're not going to sell you plants here that just aren't going to do well in our area. As long as you get a little bit of care, you'll get great results.
Now, Jason, it's with the leaves falling off the trees, right? We're going to have to rake the yard and get it off the grass. What is it? Is it going to damage our grass if we did all this planting and seeding and all the things? Why do we need to get the leaves off the grass? What does that do?
No, that's a great question. So the first part of that is raking your lawn is okay if your seed is well established. So if you have seed that's just germinated in the past 2 to 4 weeks or so, and it's still really thin, where it hasn't made multiple leaves coming out of the small plant, then you probably should just use a blower and not a rake. And don't bear straight down on it with the blower, but the rake can actually pull some of those young seedlings out because their roots haven't fully established yet. So that is something really good to know about is don't rake freshly germinated grass, because you might disturb it. And then as far as getting the leaves off the grass, it's important because that prevents photosynthesis if that leaf is blocking your newly germinated grass. Now, you don't have to get every leaf off of the grass. You just don't want it to have more than, say, 30% coverage or something like that. You definitely don't want to let the leaves stay on there and mat down the grass, because if it's like that for a week or two, it could kill that newly germinated grass. So just try to keep your leaves from accumulating, like I say, more than about 30% of cover, and don't rake any 2 to 4 week newly seeded or newly germinated grass, and you should be good to go.
We're talking with Jason Drum of Drum Landscape Supply, your local one-stop landscape shop located in Statesville, but Jason and his team deliver to all of Lake Norman. We're in the beautiful nursery here and seeing the wonderful wide array of colors and options. Are there things that keep the leaves like colorful every time they've been like those Japanese maples? Part of that is that coloring of those leaves, right? That's got to be one of the reasons why you love it, if I had to guess.
Yeah, so the Japanese maples will lose their leaves, but they have a fall color. Generally 2 to 4 weeks of a beautiful fall color before they fall off. But as far as things for the winter, that's a great question, because the evergreens, which I have a lot of them over my shoulder here as we walk backwards, they provide that color throughout the winter. So your conifers, dwarf conifers, are the most popular thing that we sell now, that we basically don't have to do any trimming on. You just kind of let them grow to their size. But the shadows are kind of on them a little bit, but you can see that we have some oranges, some yellows, some hints of blue, different things like that. And that's really what gives you that color throughout the winter, is having the backbone of some evergreens like this. And it's not just the conifers. You can see right here we have some beautiful dwarf nandinas that give you that red color throughout the winter time. They'll keep those leaves. And then you get some other plants like these abelias, that are going to give you some nice leaves throughout the winter. Now, they'll drop some of them, but you can see how pretty that pink tinge is on those leaves, and the remaining part of the flower actually stays on there. So there's quite a bit that you can do throughout the winter to keep your landscape pretty. And adding those pansies that we first talked about is one thing. And so you got the plants, the flowering pansies, but then adding that mulch or pine straw in the wintertime really brightens up the landscape and keeps it looking nice throughout the winter and before the early spring when everything else leaves out.
Jason Drum of Drum Landscape Supply. Drum Landscape Supply been around 14 years. Jason Drum been doing this longer than that. You mentioned the mulch and the pine straw and the pine needles. That's where we were back at with the wheel loader over on the other side of the lot.
Yeah.
That push up. How important is it? What if you said, hey, I don't want any mulch or any of that? Is that okay, or no? Is it we should always put a little bit of something at least?
Well, it's definitely going to help your plants out if you have some mulch there, whether it be pine straw mulch, like a hardwood or pine mulch, or even a decorative gravel. Now, some shrubs do not require mulch to once they get established. So you might consider some things like the Chinese holly or a few other things that are junipers are really tough like that, but they still would benefit from it because what that mulch does is it regulates moisture, it regulates temperature, helps keep weeds down. But yeah, it's not necessary on some things. Now, the flip side of that is you've got rhododendron, camellias, pieris, blueberries. A lot of the more shallow-rooted things really need that mulch there to do those things I was just talking about. So there are some things that you don't have to mulch, but every plant's going to benefit from a little bit. And also, again, you don't want to do too much. So you want to maintain about a 2 to up to 3 inch layer of mulch, keeping it away from the stem of the plants and not adding too much.
What you really want is an expert, somebody who knows what they're doing.
That's
Jason
right.
Drum Landscape Supply, your local one-stop landscape shop. Every time I've gone by Drum Landscape Supply, the team's been nothing but kind as to help me and my shenanigans and my nonsense and my crazy questions, someone who knows absolutely nothing. But you guys make it easy for us. Thank you, Jason, so much for what you guys do. Happy Halloween to
Happy
you and your
Halloween.
family. Be safe out there. Have fun with the kids. Yes, sir.
We'll see what it brings with my 11, my 14-year-old.
It's gonna be a good time.
Should be a fun night.
All treats, no tricks.
That's it.
That's right.
Jason Drum Landscape Supply, sir. Have a great weekend.
Hope everybody else does too.
Happy Halloween, fam. The rest of the day, wonderful lineup for you. Download the WSIC News app. It's available for you on iOS and Google Play. You can listen live. You can stream live. You can check out the wonderful businesses that we've got here. Up next, Patrick Reynolds, host of the Home Ad Show Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Whether you're buying, selling, or celebrating birthdays and anniversaries, that's 9 to 11, 844 Studio 4. Noon to 3, Todd Starnes. 3 o'clock, you got the scoop. A little inside information going on there. Something like that today. No, Beyond the Blueprint. Excuse me.
There you go.
And then giving you the upside what's going on in Health Talk after that. Have a great weekend.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
From Mooresville to Cornelia, secret to Taylorsville. They bring the dream to life. They always will. In every town, they got your back. From Moxville to Trompus, more than that. Experience hands make your dream complete. Drum Landscape Supply, your garden suite.